Okay, so my hair is fabulous. I'm fabulous. My belly is not so fabulous. My belly is a work in progress. It's a work in fabulous, is my belly. My belly is a work in fabulous. Okay, but check it out. I'm recording, right? I'm recording my thoughts. And this is an interesting life that I'm trying to live. And I say that as I lift weights. This is an interesting life that I'm trying to live. Um, I don't know how to live life. Big, big deal, right? Like who really knows how to live life? I don't think anybody really knows how to live life, right? So we can only, well, let me just stop talking in terms of generalities. Let me just stop talking in terms of we. I'm not talking for everybody. I'm speaking for myself, right? And as for myself, like, listen, life doesn't have to suck. I have bought into this idea that I have to be like my father, and that's not the case. I don't have to be like my father. My father, successful. My definition of success isn't that. I have a different. I don't even want to say definition of success because then that just makes things more complicated than they have to be. The definition of success is the same. It's just that the way I'm going to achieve it is not going to be the way he achieved it. Whew. I have talent. And I don't think that's ignorant of me to say. I don't think I'm out of bounds for saying that. I think it's a factual statement. Talent. I have it. I am thankful for it because a lot of my talent, you know, I, I was born with good looks. I was born with my voice. And I have done a lot to like I haven't taken good care of my voice and I haven't always taken good care of my face, Because I just didn't value those things because to me I was under the impression that that wasn't how I was going to be successful. Success didn't mean these things to me. And in a in a vacuum those things don't mean success to me, but when I think about what I enjoy doing and what I let's be frank, what I want to do for a living, um those things matter very deeply. And it's not a bad thing for me to acknowledge that. It's not a bad thing for me to understand that. I am very self I'm very introspective. I'm not an introvert, I'm introspective. I analyze myself a lot because I want to be a good person. I want to have good morals. I also think a lot. I think way too much. I also eat too much. But I'm trying to build these muscles, so I gotta get them calories in. Whoa. Now I've been putting in more work at the gym. That's beside the point. Basically, what I'm trying to do is have another therapy session here, right? So let me put the weights down for a second because I did go hard at the gym. Look, I had a lot of fun in college. And in college, what was I doing? I was dancing. I was doing shows. I was into I was being creative. I was in my creative zone, man. And like I wouldn't here's the thing. I am smart. I am capable. I am actually, you know what? I have the knowledge. I have the time. I have the resources to succeed and thrive in literally anything I do. Anything. Whatever I wanted to do, whatever I wanted to put my mind to, I could do it. I could do it. And I could do it really fucking well. So So when I was in college, I was putting my mind into being a triple threat, being able to sing, dance. I really gotta take a shit. So let me hold up and pause. Okay, that shit took longer. Literally, that shit took longer than I was expecting. So, let's just get back on track here. What was I talking about? Listen, man, I have talent. I'm capable of a lot of things, so I really need to stop messing around. Gonna put on some deodorant. And honestly, who cares what people think? You know, some people are gonna make fun. Not everyone's gonna like me, but I'm gonna be putting in the work. I'm gonna put in the work. And, it's just kind of crazy for me to think that I could be a star, that I could be famous. It's just really, let's just be real, right? Because that's what success means in the field of entertainment. And at least from like the front, on the performative side, right? There's the front stage and then there's the backstage, right? Um, from the performative side, which is what I'm talking about, the more fame you have, the more likely it is that you're on the upper echelon of success. And success is important to me. Why is it important to me? Because it's kind of how I was. Those were the expectations of me, which is kind of interesting to think about it like that. I was expected to be very successful, which is kind of weird. These are thoughts that I would love to have with my mother and father in like a therapy session with my doctor. Because on the one hand, it feels like I was expected to do some great things, but on the other hand, they were also pretty chill about it, which I guess is more of so a testament to their parenting, because they were balanced as parents. Ooh, you know, they had expectations of me when they felt like it was called for, and the problem is that I'm so smart. That really is the problem. Because if I was dumber, it wouldn't be as much of a problem. I'm too smart, but I'm not smart enough. Um, I gotta respect my parents for because I wasn't always smarter than my parents. You know, and my parents really did put in the work to get the lives that they're at now. Super successful, both of them, different ways. And it's definitely shaped my what I think of as a male, gender roles, I should say. It's definitely shaped my gender roles, my thoughts on gender roles. Um, I'm smart. I'm intelligent. What's the word? I can talk with people and not lose my shit, which I think is important if you're trying to reach common ground. Um, so there was in college I was pursuing this. I was pursuing performance art. Um, but then I graduated, and I didn't really have any direction. And then weed came into my life, and then that fucked everything up. So now I'm at this point where I'm just trying to get back. Um, and I realized that the fall off that I had maybe is changing. It was a fall off for the past 3 years, but now it's becoming something else. It's becoming it, it I'm speaking for future me here. It became it became the, and I'm speaking metaphorically here, it became the lawyer who switched professions to be a DJ. You know, I was just second guessing myself. I was thinking that there was something else out there. I was thinking, what other ways of living could there be, which could probably be considered a waste of time because everyone wants to live the rock star lifestyle. Everyone wants to be a star, right? And ultimately, that's the kind of living lifestyle that I'm after here, right? And I don't literally mean everyone, but I mean it's a not a bad life to live. So for me to think that to want to have explored other options, I did. I explored Planet Fitness. I explored, I was just and I this is what my therapist has been trying to beat into my stubborn head. It's maybe I didn't fall off. Drugs definitely didn't help. Marijuana, it's a drug. Sorry. It didn't help. It wasn't helping. It wasn't helping. It was I became addicted to it. And it was helping me in the way that I was depressed. But honestly, I shouldn't have never been depressed because I wasn't a failure like I was feeling. I was hating life. And if only I could go back 3 years, even before that, 5 years, because I'm 20, about to be 30. I graduated from college when I was 23. So if I can go back to like 24, right after I quit GameStop, if I can go back, I'm hearing noises because I'm going to stop talking as soon as my father comes in. If I can go back to that time period, man, I would tell myself something. I would try to convince that younger version of me that, hey, but you know what? It wouldn't have worked because I was gonna explore. But I was gonna be like, hey, I would be like, hey, listen, you're curious about other lifestyles. That's fine to be curious about other lifestyles because you are an individual who's capable. And if you want something, you're gonna go get it. And right now, you want to know what pain is like. You want to know what it is to struggle. So you go do that. But know this: that's what you're doing. You are actively doing it. You are exploring right now. You are curious. You had your mom and your dad. They influenced you way more than you thought. They were way better at being parents than you thought. They knew more than you for a long period of time. And so right now what you're trying to do is you're trying to grow as a person, and you're doing it maybe in you're doing it in a way where me now wouldn't do it. Me now is trying to do it, but the way I was doing it in college, like you were doing it. Just keep on doing it that way, and you're gonna get the growth. You're gonna get the perspective that you want because you're exploring, but you're not really exploring anything. You already know what that kind of lifestyle is, and it honestly, it's kind of frictionful. It's filled with stress, and it's not fun, and it's not easy. Again, let's fast forward, and now I'm back in my own body. I time traveled for a bit. Now I'm back. These are just my experiences. For me, that lifestyle is not fun. It's stressful. It's fucking. I don't want that lifestyle. And I don't have to have that lifestyle. I'm capable of having fun. And here's the other thing, too. Like, I mentioned earlier about how I think a lot. And I want to be a good person, and so I'm very introspective on that. The thing is, it's hard for me to judge my own actions. It's hard for me to judge my own actions because I'm just gonna assume the worst of myself when maybe things weren't really that. I wasn't that bad of an asshole. You know, and so like it's been a weird mixture in my brain, thinking I'm an asshole, thinking that I'm living life wrong, ditching my gifts because of guilt. Like I felt guilty about being talented, and so then I would make myself believe that I wasn't talented, that people were just telling me things just to tell me things, and it's like, what if they were just being honest? Like I used to have that pickup line with girls where I'd be like, you're beautiful, and then they'd be like, oh, thank you. I'm like, I'm just being honest. Like what if that's what I should have been telling myself about when other people would give me compliments. But I didn't want to believe that for a myriad of fucked up reasons, which is what I was talking about when I said, I've been thinking weird. My thoughts have had a weird chemistry for a while. So, um, man, I'm exhausted. I mean, I was like thinking I was gonna go to work, that I was gonna go work, but man, defrosting that chicken took longer than I thought. Earlier, I was in the library and I was looking at. First of all, let me say this. I have been thinking about what Zora was texting me this morning all day. Do. Right? She's mentioned it before, not necessarily today, but in the spirit of take action. And she's mentioned more than once about how I have been comfortably uncomfortable, which is fucked up. And so now being comfortably uncomfortable is no longer comfortable. And when I was looking, so going back earlier to when I was at the library, I was at Craigslist and I was looking at different opportunities. And I was noticing that there were opportunities to perform like open mics, just to go see shows. Like there were shows happening, which I've never really gone to shows. I've always wanted to perform in them. Um, Lifestyle, man, lifestyle is crazy. It's a it's a crazy thing to live a lifestyle. Um, some people there are there are there are different lifestyles out there, and sometimes I fantasize about other lifestyles. And the thing about me is, I'm capable of living those lifestyles, but I think it's time that I admit the truth to myself, which is that I do not want to live those other lifestyles. The past, when I'm 30, graduated from college, so for the past like 7 years, I have been denying myself the lifestyle that's best suited for me. Look at me, man. I'm handsome. I'm smart. I'm articulate. Um, I'm destined to be a star, right? So I'm not too old. I know I feel like I am because I'm 30, but I'm not too old. Um, and ultimately, man, it would just be my life. It would just be a life worth living. well, this is different than a therapy session because in a therapy session, I would have someone else on the other end talking back with me. And here it's just the one. There's nobody to bounce things off of except myself. So, man, my body hurts, dude. I went hard at the gym. I've been going hard at the gym. I've been really working up a sweat every day for the past 3 days. But I kind of want to continue it. And I probably don't have to work that hard because today I was working harder than I thought I had to. Well, than I had to. I worked harder than I needed to. Um, but honestly, I just need to work up a sweat. And the thing is, when I start to work up a sweat, then I want to keep going. I don't want to stop. So once I start working up a sweat, I want to keep working up a sweat. You know, I don't think I subscribe to the belief that life has value, because to say that a life has value would then subsequently or inadvertently or whatever word best describes what I'm talking about, um, then just by default you're saying that someone else's life has value, because if you're saying all lives are equally valuable, if you want, and this again, I don't think life can be measured in value, which is why I don't say like saying that life is has value, because then you were gonna say, because when something has value, then that means other things have less value. You can't have the idea or the concept of value when everything is the same, you know, because then there's no such thing as value. It's just what it is. So if you say this piece of paper with the one on it is worth more than the this piece of paper with the two digits on it, well then you can have the concept of value, because then there's a difference. But when it comes to lives, maybe 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 lives do have value, but maybe not in the way that we think. See, we compare ourselves, and in comparing ourselves, it kind of takes away the value of our own lives. We see someone else's life, and our innate nature is to compare our lives, and if you're someone like me, you're comparing yourself and you're thinking that your life has less value, and it doesn't, and it doesn't. But maybe it does have less value in this one respect, which is to say that if you aren't living your life, if you aren't valuing your life, then your life does have less value than the person's life that you're comparing yourself to, because you aren't maximizing. I hate to use that word, but let's find a different word. You aren't living a life worthy of celebration when you pass. Because let's get into something else now. I've often and suppressed the idea of death. It's never been something that was talked about in my household. I don't believe in religion in that kind of way. I think when you die, it's just lights out. And that really fucked me up as a kid. It was a source of panic attacks, and it's and more recently, it's been a source of my depression, which is kind of like, who gives a fuck? We're all gonna die, so my life has no value. That kind of shit. Um, but then my doctor said something pretty interesting to me. She said, well, first of all, she didn't say this in a vacuum. We had been, she knows about my eating habits, and as you can tell, my eating habits suck. Um, I eat my feelings, and that's not good. But I was, and I have an addictive personality, so those two things do not match. So basically, the conversation came up. Um, so in that context, and this was said as I was leaving the session. I basically like made a joke about me dying. But not even, I didn't even make a joke. It was almost like I was intending to make a joke, and she kind of read my mind. And she goes, and don't even think that I'm going to go to your funeral if you die. Because I had been eating a lot. Like steak fries, burgers, just nachos, just like trying to give myself a heart attack. And I go, that's kind of crazy that you said that because I was wondering if you would come to my funeral. And she goes, no. What would there be to celebrate? So that's kind of changed how I feel about death. Where it used to be like, okay, it's just lights out. Now it's more so like, well, we are gonna die. That's inevitable. So what are you gonna do with your life? And for a while, I was, you know, not seeing it like that. I was being very disrespectful with my life. And when you're being disrespectful with your life, then you are placing value. You are giving your life value. You don't think you are, but you're giving your life value. And subsequently, when you are disrespectful like that with your own life, you give your life value, and that's when it's not like life always has value. Life only has value when you start disrespecting it, because then life has value to let you know, hey, your life isn't as worth anything as the other person's life. And I'm gonna rise to that challenge. You know, I'm gonna rise to that challenge. I'm gonna do everything that I can to make my life have value. And uh I can't think of anything more noble than that. I am very tired. I am very tired. Physically. Mentally I can still keep going. But physically I'm pretty tired. My muscles are sore. I ran. Man, I'm crazy. I kind of want to go to sleep. I kind of want to take a nap. Because I haven't really spent my money. And I'll go to work because honestly, that kind of work, it doesn't take that much physical energy. Even though I am physically tired, it doesn't really take that much physical energy. So, but I'm also kind of thinking if I do go to work, then I won't be able to go to sleep because it's just gonna wire my brain even more. You know. But then if I don't go to work, then I'm gonna be here when my dad is here, and he's not the most pleasant when he comes home sometimes. Traffic. But we know what it really is. He gets in his own thoughts. Plus, I'm full of chicken soup. Why go to work when I can just continue to work out? So, being a performer is going to be fun. It's just weird, you know? It's just weird to like think that people would like to see me and that people would, you know, think about me and that people would be cool with me. And honestly, it's kind of like the life for me. See, if I really wanted to leave, I'd leave right now. Let's leave right now. But here's the other thing too. Working in this area, man, a lot of rude people. But then again, that's on me, right? Let's go to work. Let's put in the work. Let's put in the work. I'm gonna cut this early. I'll probably usually go for another 15 minutes, but I mean it's already 6. I don't know when my father's gonna be here. He could be here in 5 minutes. He could be here in 25 minutes. So let's just go. Let's just go work. Let's go earn a little bit of dough. Plus my car needs gas. Let's do it to it. In summary, action, do, explore, be independent. Your gifts are your gifts. No shame in that. It's all good. You're talented. Go live your life. Go be a star.